Alright guys, I'm going to walk you through how I do a disavow file, and then we'll be doing this for After Romance, and you want to do the same thing for the rest of the uh, sites on which you look. So I can give you sign-in credentials. I believe you already have them to my account. My account is a starter account. It's a couple hundred a month. We are going to need to get with Sock and Rob about upgrading to the premium because this pulls 6,000 backlinks, where the next stage for 360 a month will pull 150,000. So I think that's what we need at this point. Some sites do show more than 6,000, and we'll definitely be generating a lot more than that. So we're going to need that as soon as possible. So once you get signed in, let's go to reports because I've already ran this report on Afro Romance a couple of times. Detox is the one that we're looking for here. So let's go to the report. And this shows you here the limitations of the report, which I just talked about. So that's what that warning is. This will show you an overall look at an actual site and the risk. Uh, as an example, interracial dating, for instance, I did one for Detox. It's even worse than Afro Romance at this point if you look at it just based on the score. So let's go back to Afro Romance. Okay, so what they've done here is they've put this through an algorithm that looks at a couple of different things. Well, it looks at a lot of different things, and anything it doesn't see that is normal or doesn't look like a natural footprint, they're going to classify it, or they're going to rank it with different ranking uh, levels. I'm going to show you here, like this Tox 1 is, for instance, one of them. Let's just look at one of these sites here. Take this, take that. So this is showing actually the reason it's high, or it's high risk, is all of these reasons here. So looking at these reasons, let's just start at the top. This could explain what it does, but basically it's just telling you it's their own personal algorithm. They've looked at historically bad things like if the domain is only registered for 1 year instead of 5 years, or if it has very few internal pages, or if it has very few backlinks, or if it's a newly registered domain, if the content isn't consistent 1 year to the next. So it was pushing an e-commerce site a few years ago, but all of a sudden it's pushing porn and that sort of thing. These are all risks. These are all things that Google has identified and SEOs have identified as being negative and positive factors. So they've got a whole list here that you need to go through. Suspicious links and toxic rules. So, for instance, look at this one here. They're saying this means it classified it as very unnatural. So the evaluation calculation is based on large number of data signals. Yeah, a lot of this is cookie cutter stuff. Basically, it's saying you need to take a look at it. But if it's only showing one or two of these things, I mean, that's really what needs to happen. Is you need to learn all of these different rules and determine. This basically just gives you some flags to look at. There's some of these links here. They're going to come back with 6, 7, 8, 9 of these warnings, and you get to learn that, well, you don't have to spend a whole lot of time looking at those links to know it's bad. It's coming from a directory, it's coming from a porn site, it's coming from something that you don't want linking back. So you want to disavow that. Disavow is basically telling Google you don't want to recognize that link, and you're not verifying that link, or it just sends up a red flag, and any negative connotations that backlink might carry to you will be disavowed by Google. So if you look through these rules here, possibly penalized pages, link network, this is hacking, porn, link network, so same C class. So for instance, if you were to pull one of these links and it had this single SUSP8 and it just had this, what I would do is I would look at that C class, use a tool to go look at that C class. This LRT actually has that tool, so you can do this with. Go in there and check it and find out whether there are what are the neighbors on that server? Are they porn sites? Are they nail servers? Are they something that's going to be considered a bad neighborhood in Google's eyes? Um, keep going. You've got just tons of stuff here. Paid links, potential link network directory, article directory. Too many outgoing links. This is something that you do want to look for. So anytime you see a 17, you want to be considered. You want to be considerate of that and look at it closer. This is definitely a bad one. 21. So the possible link networks, it'll break them down and give you a little bit more detail as to why they're calling it what they're calling it. But it's important to know these before you're going through and disavowing links. Common misconception is that you can go through this thing, anything over 3 or 4 warnings, then automatically be lazy and disavow it. Don't do that, because a lot of times that's not the case with these links. Not only with the red, but also the yellow that you'll find, back here where they're ranking them. You've got some red here, but if you flip forward, you've got change to yellow. Back to our high risks. Okay, so you need to learn what each one of these rules stands for. If you don't know it, it really comes into play when you get into the yellows, the ones that only have 2 or 3 warnings. These are going to have a lot of warnings, so it's fairly straightforward, but we do want to check them anyhow. So let's go. Select all URLs and go to this link detox screener. So this is going to go through each one page by page. And this is literally the way that it has to be done. You'll spend quite a bit of time doing this for all of the sites. But the good thing to know is that once that's finished, it's the maintenance type deal, so it's once a week. So you might have to check a few thousand or a few hundred or a few dozen links versus having to check this amount each time. So if you can suffer through the initial phases of this detoxification, everything gets a lot easier. So let's look at the first one here. This is a subdomain. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different warnings there. Let's just take a look at close a few of these. Look at 24, see what that means. Possible link network, so we'll have to look at it closer. Again, link network possible. Link network possible. So let's take a look at this site. And it is exactly that. It's a web directory, so these are not good where 15 years ago they may have been. When it comes from a backlink like this, it is actually negative. It's not positive in any form or fashion, because most of the services out there that you get for $100 a month, they guarantee you top positions or indexed pages or Google crawls or a multitude of different offerings or services that they offer. This is one of them. They submit you to a directory, which is no benefit. So what we're going to do is, actually I've already done it here, put a thumbs down and go to next. Now as you add these, it's going to add them to a disavow file that you'll be able to submit to Google. So again, I've already done this one, so I'm going to go to the next. Again, we're dealing with all the same ones here. This shows you actually the way that the site looks down here. So we want to disavow this. And we want to disavow this at the domain level. Never do it at the page level unless something really stands out. Otherwise, to go for domain, because typically there's going to be more than one link. I always do this for safe measure. Next. Same thing. Domain, next. Domain, next. So a lot of these are just cookie cutter. Some sort of submission service, it looks like. and then they built their own network that you paid to get submitted to. So these are basically worthless. And in some cases, when they look at Google looks at your good to bad ratio, anchor text, and all these different sorts of things, this turns into a negative versus a neutral. We're still getting the same one here, so I'm going to jump ahead to this one. Again, we're looking at a directory. We've got a couple issues here. Let's look at SUS one. Link for a page without external links, a weak domain, new domain, weak domain, fewer than 10 backlinks, link, that's safe for, yeah. Okay, so down here for link from possibly penalized page. Site the link comes from does not rank for the title of the page, which usually indicates page or domain has been penalized. However, special cases like pages which aren't titles like partners or home have hard time ranking. I'm not so sure, unless this is combined with some other potentially bad ones. I know this one had some 2 and 3, I believe, link network potential. But on 4, usually, I'm not sure, again, no, it's just going back to 10 spots, 50 spots, 100 spots, 1,000 spots when it says it doesn't rank. So, this is the sort of thing that you want to look at to make sure that you don't count it as being bad. So, when you go back and we look at this again, this one? Okay, now was it this one? So this had 1, 2, and 4, which those were all actually the toxic. Those are the ones I believe that are showing. No, it's SUS. The suspected ones are showing link networks or weak domains, the tox. Again, yeah, I don't think this is going to be bad enough on those merits alone. As far as the rules, breaking the rules, why it's considered high. So, looking beyond that, this is definitely a directory. Okay, so we've established it's a directory, so it's not really going to be good for us. So, we're going to take it out. Go to the next. Looks like we've got a lot of them here too. Okay, this one's enough. And again, it's the same deal. Domain. So keep a look at, make sure these are all coming from the same page. So I'm going to just jump through to no, there's no new one rather. So again, we get the same ones here. So domain level down, next. Here, I'm not looking too bad. See what I'm probably going to do, just to show you guys what I look at. This is look and see if we have some pages in here. Looks like a lot of AdSense. Looks like basically that's what it is AdSense. This is AdSense. This is AdSense. This is AdSense. So it does have some content in it. And it's a follow link. So I think in this case we're going to keep it because it's not just, I mean, it has images in it, there's a lot of content, but again, this is your own discretion. So we'll start with the really bad ones first and then continue to refine as we go. This may end up becoming a Disavow link, but for now we'll keep it as a good one. And we'll mark it non-disavowed. Next. AdSense. This is a directory. Doesn't look like there's much meat to it. No. So okay, so let's go back to the report page. That's basically what you're going to have to do, is go through all of these, and you've got 2,000 links to go through, determine good or bad, and rate them accordingly. It looks like if you look here, it's going down, so that makes it easy. Let's go back to the report page. Okay, we're going to jump ahead and just assume that you've finished all 2,000 of these links that have to be cleaned up. The next thing I want to do is scan up here to export Google Disavow file. So you get your Disavow file here. Close this up and go to your Search Console. Disavow links. I don't have Afro-Romance in here, but let's just say, for instance, this were it. We would select your domain, afroromance.com. We went to Disavow the links, choose the file, and then go to wherever that file was just saved at, and hit done, and you're finished.